You've made it. It's Friday. It's time that we ended this week. Welcome to the COMiX News Wire, where we get our news from the COMiX newsroom found at comicbookadvocates.com. Fridays just got more anchored as C. Michael Lanning takes over to be the head anchor on Weekended, and he will be joined by Meredith Logren. Together, they will bring you all the news you need to know from the week. This is Weekended. They give you the COMiX news coming off the wire. This show is brought to you in association with
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment and more.
comicbookadvocates.com is the global digital Comic-Con, but it's more than that, and you can be more too. Be more than just a fan. Become an advocate for comics like comicbookadvocates.com is for their creators, for their crowdfunding, for the very books they're creating, because we love comics. Warning and disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this live feed are those of the guests, speakers, and or hosts, and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs, official policies, ethics, or positions of the content providers, advertisers, additional hosts, and or guests, hosting sites, groups, or entities attached to this programming. Viewer discretion is advised. And we are joined by, of course, the host of the show, Michael, Meredith. They're going to introduce themselves. And yes, Mike, today is Terraform Day announcements. We have something about the Continuum. Stay tuned for more on that. But for now, our anchor, C. Michael Lanning.
Hi, morning, comics fans. I'm C. Michael Lanning, freelance artist and sometimes penciler for Silverline Comics and other things. And of course, again, like I say, if you can hear my face and see my voice, you know that it's Friday. And of course, Friday means we get to talk about comics, both mainstream and indie. So I'm so excited to start my weekend like that. And I hope you're excited to join me. And of course, as always, I have the astonishing co-anchor, Meredith Logren. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm Meredith Logren. I'm the associate editor over at Geek Insider, as well as the executive producer of the Geek Insider podcast. I did want to put a little bit of a note out there that yesterday our YouTube channel was nuked by a fat-fingered mistake. A little text, thank goodness it wasn't me. But we are rebuilding, so head over to Geek Insider, no S on the end of that YouTube channel, and hit the subscribe button. We are rebuilding from scratch. Whew. Anyway, so I'm one of the founding five of Terraform Comics, and I'm really excited about what's happening and coming down the pipeline. And I've also got a Kickstarter that's happening right now. It is the Compendium of Dread, an anthology of dark fiction. And that has got, I want to say, 4 days. I'm weird with the timer here because I haven't checked it yet. And we are going strong, and I'm very excited about what's coming down the pipe with that. So on with the news. All
right. Yeah, it's a new inaugural week, so we kind of might be a little slow today, but I'm definitely anxious to get into it and see what we do have.
Yeah.
So we're going to start.
And here's all the news coming off the Wednesday COMiX News Wire.
All right.
And we're scrolling.
Actually, this one's a pretty big one, and it's from Mike. This is him actually giving some love to the Creator Connection Panel 1, and I thought this would be an awesome time to show you how awesome Mike is. Look at how he broke down every story, talked about every story in this 8-page challenge. Mm-hmm. I don't see anyone doing that. I don't see, even reviewers don't do this. This is an amazing amount of work that he put in every one of these, and I can only thank him for it. I know Buddy Scalera, the person who runs Comic Book School, was made aware of it on a recent phone call, and he loved the idea of someone doing this. So nothing but love and appreciation. Look at that. Every single story he gave his opinion on. How amazing is that?
Mm-hmm.
So
And then now, where can we find the 8-page challenge anthology?
that you can find at Comic Book School down here. You can either go to comicbookschool.com, just go on their main page, or you can go to comicbookschool.com/creator-connection-panel-1, and that'll bring you right to it. But just go to there, and it's a free download, guys. 144 pages for free. So, and Mike said, so I like to be spoiler free and tried not to say too much, but here are some thoughts. It was amazing that he did that. We thank him so much. Nothing but love for that. And he was actually one of our headlines this week that we had from earlier in the week, and now it's on the Weekended Show. Mike is a creator's dream come true with how he reviews and speaks on projects. And it's true. And you can see the rest of all my thoughts this weekend on Geek Insider as I put up all my thoughts and the headlines this weekend. And here we go. You're up. The announcement out.
All right. This is from Richard Rivera from over there at Scout Comics, and he's letting us know it's time to order Wild Bull and Chipper. You can check that out with Previews World, number Jan 211525. So make sure to tell your local comic book shop that you want Wild Bull and Chipper. That is an all ages book from their imprint Scoot. So don't forget that. It looks like it might be entertaining for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All-Star creators celebrate the women of Marvel in a new special. She-Hulk, Peggy Carter, Rogue, and more star in Women of Marvel #1. You can find that at marvel.com.
Right. She-Hulk's looking kind of skinny there.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I hope maybe that was a scroll. Maybe that wasn't She-Hulk. I don't know.
I don't think that was She-Hulk. I think that was the Guardians of the Galaxy character.
Oh, Gamora? Could be.
That's Gamora.
I hope that's Gamora, because goodness she's not hulking. Best crowdfunding stretch goal. The award for best crowdfunding stretch goal. The campaign must have ran in 2020, not started or ended, but some part of it must have been in 2020. This year's awards will be broken into 4 nights based on creative categories throughout February and March 2021, starting with art, hosted by Geek Insider. Voting ends 2/21/21 at 4 p.m. Eastern, then crowdfunding, hosted by IndieVolt, and that voting ends at February 28th, '21, 4 p.m. So go and check that out at the Independent Creator Awards on Facebook. Cast your votes.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what you think.
And Meredith can talk a little bit on the awards this week and how we've reshaped them a little bit.
Yeah. We're going to be starting with the 21st of February and with Geek Insider launching that. And then every Sunday after that at was it 6? I keep thinking 4 for some reason.
It's
show up.
4.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say I'd probably show up 2 hours early then. But this is a fan-based kind of voting where we're nominating people. 2020 was really rough, and we didn't want to be put in a position where we were judging people necessarily. So there's a lot that happened. People really hustled. They worked hard. And those who put up their crowd funds, those who kept on podcasting, those who kept on entertaining us through the year, in a tough year. I mean, they should all be recognized, and that's what that's all about. So make sure that you tune in. Follow us on Geek Insider, IndieVolt, Comic Book Advocates, and Chuck's Shop Talk. And, we're going to have those awards, and we're really celebrating the creative process.
Awesome.
And I guess I'll read this one. Marvel's Secret Invasion working title reportedly revealed for Disney+. What could that be? I guess you're going to have to head over to comicbook.com to find out what Disney Plus is doing.
Uh-oh. Let's see. All right. Speaking, let's see. We also have now Zack Snyder's Justice League is 4-hour movie and not a miniseries, says director. So if you thought it was going to be broken up into 4 parts, nope. It's going to be a whole 4-hour movie. There was a lot of rumors speculating that, and then a lot of people are complaining because it's 4 hours. Because what? People are going to complain about a comic book movie one way or another.
Well,
but if
I'm just wondering. Sorry, C. Do you think that they're going to be, because the length of the movie, kind of like it's like the Gone with the Wind kind of version of? You know, because what they did,
I hope
they had
not.
they had to do an intermission so that everybody could take a pee.
Well, and I think that's what's the great thing about it becoming to HBO Max instead of being in a movie theater is because of that right there. You know, you can pause it and go to the bathroom, and maybe you don't want to sit there for 4 hours. Maybe you want to watch it like a miniseries. That could work for you too. Probably watch it while I'm doing something else, unless it catches my attention, honestly. But you know, that's the thing. If you looked at Return of the King for Lord of the Rings when it came out in movie theaters, that movie was going on, I think it was 4 hours and 11 minutes around that time, almost 4 hours for that one. I don't think they put an intermission in that one. So I think they're kind of holding out that, you know, maybe I always kind of look at it this way. If I have to go to the bathroom in a movie theater, that means that's a new scene I get to watch when it comes out on DVD. So
No, I will sit there in my Depends and watch the whole damn thing. Okay, I'm just saying.
it's like that meme, large Coke? No, you know.
Okay, this is from Fabio Samau. Hi, friends. Okay, if you are already know what it's about or others, I'm 5 days. You all will be able to see the result of a lifetime dream. Yes, I'm not kidding. Dakota Gattel started the Chameleon Studios universe when he was a 13-year-old kid, and it evolved and expanded among the decades, becoming something unique. And me, well, a long story short, I always wished to be a comic artist, but the ups and downs of life was going far from this until the point I said, what the fuck? And gave up all of my past career and jumped into comics. And Dakota was the guy who gave me the first opportunity in this new path. So they worked really hard for this. Let's see, since 2018. But again, the ups and downs of life that came over us slowed down the train, but not enough to stop us. No, sir. The first issue from the flagship title of the studio, Vexus, was almost done, but something was missing, something to show the reader what lies behind the deep layers of untold stories. None of us is sure of what it's about to come, but we only wish to say thank you for staying with us so far. We hope you can enjoy these stories as much as we do. And this is 5 days, and if you can scroll down, Mr. Announcer, 5 days.
And it's
It's the same thing, just repeated.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think what that is. It C Studios?
I think it stands for Chameleon
Chameleons?
Studios.
Okay,
Yeah.
Chameleon Studios. Very cool.
Did it tell us where we could find them?
No, I don't think so.
And it's funny. This is a lesson to anyone watching, including Fabio. You did a great job explaining it, but you didn't give us a landing page. You didn't tell us why we have to click the link to stay here. You just said 5 days. Always say, add that one sentence to wrap it up. Subscribe to my page to stay in the know, get the update. Always link.
Always a link. Please give us a link so that we can follow.
Because right now, all it is your friend's page. Like, no, and we'll see. We'll look right here just to make sure we didn't miss it. Nope. He did so good except for that. And that's okay. That's what we all learn from our mistakes, don't we?
Yep. From Looper.com, why don't you check out the weirdest old school cartoons and animated series? Think old cartoons are totally wholesome and straightforward? You haven't been paying attention. Look for that on Looper.com.
And this is from Gamal Hennessy. In comics, the obsessive fandom of a title is often the result of a well-developed sales funnel. It can transform a piece of intellectual property into a core aspect of a reader's life. Read about it here and start your own digital sales funnel with Global COMiX.
And Mike updates us. The Compendium of Dread anthology of dark fiction will end on Thursday, the 28th at
7:50 a.m. Eastern.
So thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nothing but love there. Okay, so make sure that you head over to globalcomics.com and see what Gamal Hennessy is.
Always
doing.
a good read.
Mhm.
Always informative. Let's see. Are Magneto and Quicksilver in WandaVision? Marvel's Kevin Feige responds. So do you want to know? That's my question. Wouldn't it be something to find out that Magneto shows up? Be kind of weird. See, in the comics, at first, Quicksilver and Wanda were Magneto's children, and then they turned around and changed it on us. So who knows what they're going to go with this time? But if you do want to know the answer and you want to know what Kevin Feige says, check it out at comicbook.com.
And we're scrolling.
Oh, I love
Rob
this.
Anderson, since you are Mr. Announcer Voice, do you want to read this? This is yours.
It's not mine. It's something I merely shared, but it's an important thing for everyone to know. So yeah, I'll happily do this one.
Okay.
Thank you. There was a farmer who grew excellent quality corn. Every year he won the award for the best grown corn. One year, a newspaper reporter interviewed him and learned something interesting about how he grew it. The reporter discovered that the farmer shared his seed corn with his neighbors. How can you afford to share your best seed corn with your neighbors when they are entering corn in the competition with yours each year? The reporter asked. Why, sir, said the farmer. Didn't you know the wind picks up pollen from the ripening corn and swirls it from field to field? My neighbors grow inferior corn. Cross-pollination will steadily degrade the quality of my corn. If I am to grow corn, I must help my neighbors grow good corn too. So, with our lives, those who want to live meaningful and well must help enrich the lives of others. For the value of life is measured by the lives it touches. And those who choose to be happy, I think it says bystanders. I'll go to make sure I'm quoting this right. So give me 1 second. Just want to make sure I get that last bit of it right. Okay. And those who choose to be happy must help others find happiness. For the welfare of each is bound up with the welfare of all. And that is commentary on also how I feel. And this says it all. This is a headline I picked, and I said, there's a reason I no longer go under the moniker of Indie, I-N-D-I-E. There are way too many I's in that for me. The Indie I go by is I-N-D-E-E for a reason. There's less I's on purpose, and it's more about being unity and being part of an industry and understanding. Like he said, it's like when someone puts out, and I'll put it out there and I'll call it what it is. It's when someone puts out a shitty comic book, it makes every independent creator look a little worse, you know? And for every great comic, it all makes us look a little better. And we have to understand it. So when people are ripping apart your comic book and telling you that it's shitty, maybe don't take it personally and really look at your comic and be honest with yourself. Sometimes you might be putting out some part, and maybe that's the best you can do in that moment. But the people who are telling you that, they also have a vested interest because you're making their corn worse off.
Oh, absolutely. Words to live by.
Okay, I guess I'll take this one. Titans Barbara Gordon actress Savannah Welch reveals stunt training video. I love it when they do their own stunts. And you can find this at comicbook.com.
Uh-oh. We're going to see some Batgirl action, maybe? We're just seeing Barbara Gordon right now.
Literally kicking butt.
She's well, never mind. I was going to say something kind of cruel that had to do with Oracle, but we'll move on. So obviously, if she's doing stunts, everything turns out well. But we go down. I think I see a friend of mine here. This is Aaron Humphrey's work. I don't see. He looks like he's committed the cardinal sin of not giving us a link. Oh, here we go.
Okay.
I have finished posting the last of issue 9 of my Godlands comic on Webtoons. I'm halfway through issue 10 and hope to get that posting very soon. Check it out below. So check out Aaron Humphreys on Webtoons and COMiX Godlings. And if you want to come over here on COMiX Newswire, he's got the link put up. So you can just click on that and go enjoy.
Okay.
Aaron's also known for being one of the Silverline artists for the one of the recent Kickstarters, Friar Rush. So that was an interesting story. They were going to contribute that. They thought the artwork was for someone else. He did it back in the 90s. Thought the artwork was for someone else. And they were going to contribute to that other person because they couldn't remember who did it. Now, mind you, this has been years later. Aaron happened upon Silverline and contacted me and said, "Hey, y'all remember me?" And right before they launched it, said, "Oh, this was you."
Oh, wow.
So everything went into place. And I think there's still a couple more books for Friar Rush coming out soon. So,
and as an FYI, just so everyone's aware, the newest category in our awards as of today is in fact now our brand new award is for webtoons or web series and online comic books. We wanted to celebrate it in a different way. So here's something cool with it. Anything produced in the last 5 years counts. However, it has to have been updated in 2020. So you can't show something you did 5 years ago. You could have something that goes back 5 years because webtoons sometimes are interesting that way, where they've got a longer reach and it's harder to determine, but you can't have ignored it for 5 years and try to get an award. Right. Sorry, it's not going to work that way. We celebrate everything here, but we do it the right way. So with that, I'm going to move on to our next article.
But if you've been going for 5 years and you're continually updating webtoons, good for you.
Yeah, you should get it. And there are people who do that. So we wanted to celebrate them. I didn't want anyone to go, well, my webtoon started 5 years ago. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. I know a little bit about this. Would you like me to take this?
Absolutely, Rob. You go ahead.
All right. So New York Comic Con still doesn't have a date. MCM doesn't have a date. Metaverse is their online entity. You'll have both Emerald City Comic Con and you'll have C2E2 in December. Emerald is first, and then a week later is actually there, 2 weeks before Christmas. This is Reed trying to adjust to what is this year. And we talked about this quickly on the Comic Con Highway that we just filmed on yesterday on Thursday. We talked about this. It's going to be one of those years where it's going to be nothing, 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 and then suddenly everything. So I'm telling you now, start booking your stuff immediately. Book your hotels if you can afford it right now, because the hotels are dirt cheap. Don't wait till the swing comes back. Because it's going to happen where the vaccines, they're being amped up. There was an actual executive order, for those who don't watch the news, that now will mandate companies to stop making other things and begin to make the vaccine. So in the middle of the night, if you feel a poke, that's because they're trying to get you vaccinated. I'm just saying, sleep with one eye open.
That's not the poke that I was looking for.
Oh!
This is the fan that racks.com that brought us this information, but it's from a newsletter. If you'd ever been to a Read Pop show, you got this in your thing. Just check your spam folder, or that thing you didn't read that was just you thought for Metaverse actually updated you on a lot of important information. I do want to say this before I hand it back to C. This looks dope. Like, I saw this and I was like, what's her name? What's her sign? Maybe I'll finally stop being single now.
It's definitely hot, almost in the literal sense, huh? And who is this from? From Brian Hawkins writes, yo, so I've been given the green light to share this. GFT presents quarterly Dark Watchers. My debut with Xenoscope Entertainment in stores February 17th, y'all. Had a blast writing the Gretel character. That's CA Edgar Salazar. I'm not quite sure what CA stands for. Comic artist? Yeah, okay.
Cover artist.
Cover artist. Okay. Cover
so
artist.
This is going to be a cover. But Xenoscope puts out such wonderful, like, that was like, I have to admit, I see a lot of comic art every day. That stopped me in my tracks, and I wrote dope, because that was, my mind went to one word, and it was one word only, because that was dope. Like, that, yeah. Mm-hmm. And here we go. This is Justin. I'll be taking a couple of these. We wanted to advertise for some of the groups that you guys should be checking. We're in a new year. Maybe you don't know that there's Webtoons. Webtoons is a place where comic books are online. Check them out today and check out free comic books. But make sure, if you like something, to please donate, as there is an ability to help the creator earn some funds, and even sometimes go on a Patreon. Back to you, Meredith.
Okay. And this is from Trevor Markworth. I'm working on the launch of the second issue in this 4-issue series. This is H.P. Lovecraft's Beauty and the Beast, coming soon to Kickstarter.
Oh, that's scary. That's just straight up scary. Who's the Beast? Cthulhu? What is that about? All right.
Again, this is just an ad for Coffin Comics from Brian Polito's Lady Death, La Mutera, and Hell Witch. Again, this is another place you might not realize sells comics. Coffin Comics is actually a brand. It's a store too. Check out coffincomicsshop.com today and catch up with Brian Polito's work. Go ahead.
Right.
Oh, and that C gets the next one.
Oh, boy. Alex Dahl brings us big news. After months of promotion, NRG Comics will be launching the Indigo crowdfunding campaign for Zenner, Master of the Mind, at the end of February. More updates and news will come in the following weeks about how you can help bring this amazing new series from NRG to life. But if you like the early heads up, you can sign up for emails by following the link to our IGG preview page. You can check it out on Indiegogo.com. Yeah. So give your support to Zener, guys. Zener.
And Image Comics is Image is a comics and graphic novels publisher. Yes, go ahead.
If you guys see these are just me putting in ads. I'll read them today because I know a little bit more about them. Image was the first comic book company that actually empowered independent creators. They are not the first independent creator publisher. However, these were stars of the mainstream that went backwards for the first time by choice and created something that is now a landmark of creation. Check out Image Comics today and understand that every one of those books that they have are creator-owned, meaning Image does not own the rights to any of those books on their site. So when everyone goes, well, Image really isn't indie because, they have like The Walking Dead and Rob Liefeld, he worked for Marvel. Tell them to suck it because they allow all their creators to own things. That's the difference. That's indie right there. That's the indie spirit. Yeah. And support Image Comics, see what they're creating that you like, from The Walking Dead to actually sex crimes. I'm not kidding. It's actually on their site.
Yep. Sex criminals.
Okay, Go. Max DeVille, Neo Tokyo, The Truth is a Virus, coming soon from Atrocity Press. And I'm really kind of digging that art too.
Yeah. It's like The Truth is a Virus. Now we're going to have to get a vaccine for that.
God. Okay. Oh, so there's more to read about this. Okay, from Atrocity Press, Machine, a.k.a. Jersey Geis, was once a ghetto child who made his bones as a drug dealer and enforcer for his hood, until an accident, shotgun blast to the chest, opened him up to the world of cybernetic augmentation. After his upgrades, as he saw them, he became an augment junkie and replaced perfectly healthy body parts with cyber implants in an effort to make himself the perfect strongman. Machine is thus called such due to the fact that he was more cyberware than biological organs at this point. Machine is very loyal to his friends and very lethal to his enemies, all the while racking up markers and favors for later use. While his tendency to take any job has frosted him a few times, he rarely looks the other way when an assignment emerges. Machine has very little patience, though, and this does make him unreliable in extreme circumstances. So that very, very cool, Atrocity Press, and really nice art there that grabs the attention. Head over to Atrocity Press to find out more.
I definitely know his name is Machine. Oh boy. One of my favorite, if not my favorite, horror movie icons. New Halloween kills Image and story details released in comicbook.com. You can't keep a good Michael Myers down. You just can't.
Now, this has nothing to do with Image Comics. I literally took a triple take on this because are they killing a comic book company? It's an Image.
It would be the first time for Image.
Yeah, the movie is called Halloween Kills, and this is a new Image from Halloween Kills. I thought maybe they were having an Image crossover. I was so confused. So confused, guys.
Look, it's just like the Free Comic Book Day. Image always comes out. You had Spawn kills Image. You had I Hate Fairyland kills Image. So it seemed to fit. I was like, oh, okay. Halloween's going to kill Image. So.
And as my editor Chuck would say, commas matter.
Yes.
This is why we use commas, kids. So comicbook.com, I'm looking at you.
Well, I think they need
Chuck Pino.
Quotes there. Quotation marks.
Yeah. Or it's not the quotation, it's the one that's only 1 and 1. Meredith, you're an editor. What's that one? Where it's not the 2 dashes to make it a quote, it's just 1 dash. There's a fancy name for that.
Oh, the M dash and the N dash?
Yeah, there we go. Those so exciting. I learned something every
that still blows Rob's mind. It's funny.
You know what? It would all be settled if you just used a different font. That's all I'm saying. Italicized something. Comic Sans. We all love Comic Sans. Wink, wink.
Oh. And who gets this one?
This is for you.
Okay, this is from Raven Monroe, who has shared this. This is Fragment. And we're going to scroll down here. You can find that at Comic Related Madness. Here we go. Work on Fragment is moving along quickly thanks to the amazing Luigi Terrell. Here is a little teaser for page 1. So anybody who's listening on the podcast, head over to the YouTube channel and Facebook, and you will see some of this art. Fragment is a dark supernatural mystery addressing what becomes of broken souls after death. The short series follows Little Quinn, a new reaper in the land of the dead, unaware of how she died, but determined to return home. Together with her fellow reapers, she must fulfill her contract with death and unravel what caused her soul to shatter.
All right. That's a pretty artwork.
That's all I could think is right at the end of that. That's a good, like, little long for a pitch, but that end, all I hear is like dun dun dun, like the scary music. Roll credits.
Wait, see, why are you getting the short ones?
Well, you want this one? I'll take the next one.
I promise it's not on purpose. It's just working out so well right now. It's amazing.
No, you go ahead, see.
Okay, from Dusk Till Dawn, animated series in the works from Robert Rodriguez. Okay, well, if you all remember back in 1996, Robert Rodriguez came out with a movie called Dusk Till Dawn. It was about vampire strippers. Not really, but somewhat. And so somebody has come up with this fantastic idea. What's better than, who was it? Salma Hayek as a vampire stripper? We'll have animated vampire strippers. Of course, From Dusk Till Dawn has still been around. They had its own live action series for a while. So this is nothing new. I guess we're just charting new territory and leave it to Robert Rodriguez to do it. You can read all about that at comicbook.com.
I could definitely watch a couple episodes of animated Salma Hayek.
Yeah, well, she was
I
killed.
could
So,
too.
I mean, spoiler.
All right, this is from Simon Sympathier. New color sample from Beacon Brandy Doritos for the Queen Elrica Royal Rumble story in Tales from the Natverse #1. You can head over to Indiegogo to find out more. I think you could probably do a search at Indiegogo for Tales from the what is it? The Natverse, NATVERSE.
All right. Oh boy.
Clooney for Clooney.
Speaking of Clooney, in case you're wondering, he was in Dusk Till Dawn. After Batman and Robin bombed, George Clooney didn't necessarily care how his next 3 movies did as long as they had great scripts. I think that's actually how we got Dusk Till Dawn, to be honest with you. So if you're interested in what Clooney has to say, I don't know why, check it out at businessinsider.in. They also seem to have an interview with Michelle Pfeiffer, which that perks me up right there. You know what I learned about Michelle Pfeiffer this past week?
What?
That she actually learned how to use that whip in Batman Returns. Like,
Well,
I want to
that's
see.
interesting.
I think we need a Catwoman versus Indiana Jones, and I want to see it. I will pay money to see Harrison Ford go up against Michelle Pfeiffer. I think she'll win. I personally do.
You realize she has a heavier whip, right? No, I mean, of course, I'm the guy in the room who knows this. Of course. They're two very different whips, and she would win on contact alone.
Yeah. I think she'll win on a lot of things.
I'm just wondering how painful that was to rehearse and practice and stuff like that. Because if you've ever had that backlash, man,
No, I've seen interviews of her talk about she has whipped herself and actually cut herself open with one. She said at one point.
yeah.
She pulled it out recently on one of her videos. She pulled out the old whip as she's whipping.
No, guys. He doesn't mean pulling it out on videos is good. That's not what he means. No. You learned this in 2019. It didn't change in 2020. Keep it in. It's like a gopher. It doesn't come out except for one day, and it's only when there's shadows. Okay, keep it there.
Oh my gosh.
And quick message with our friend George Clooney here. He did apologize for Batman. I actually give him a lot of respect.
Poor guy. It wasn't his fault.
For it. But I really thought, and this is going to be a headline for this week, writing matters. This goes back to the whole, oh, it doesn't matter if the art's beautiful, I'll read a book. Bullshit. That's why there's all this nice, beautiful art at Marvel that no one's reading the books, and now they've changed how they're creating, and they're going back to actually more words in their stories. And you hear some fans now, oh, they're putting so many words in. Why are the words there? It's called a story. You know, during that WandaVision thing that you're watching right now, all those words that they're coming out of their mouth, that's the word balloons. Words matter. Stories matter. Movies prove this all the time. Bad sales of comic books. No comic book that's really well written ever gets forgotten, but a really nice drawn comic book with a bad story will get forgotten. Don't forget that, guys, because the artist will go on to make other art and make a better project. That's what winds up happening.
I've got a book that I bought just because of the cover art. I opened it up. The interior art was crap. There was no story. I'm like, what the hell did I just buy? And unfortunately, it was an online sale, so I wasn't able to look through the pages before I bought it. Am I going to buy it again? Nope. I've got no reason to.
Well, I'd just like to put let me just put a little note to that. Oh, yeah, that's absolutely true. But also, bad art can make it really hard for a person to get through a story. Mm-hmm. I've had that to where it's like the story might be good. I don't know. I just couldn't get past the bad art.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it really works together.
Anytime that it's distracting like that, it's just you're taking away from the story arc and what you're trying to do. And,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I will say this: I have a book where the art isn't popular with people. I disagree, but it's a point of opinion. When people read my other work, they get really curious about that book, and they go back and they read it, and they really enjoy it. They do come out of it saying, look, it should be a different art style at least. They do say that, but they'll read the book and still enjoy it. While a badly written book, no one ever says they enjoyed. They just said the art was nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying either one's better. I'm not getting in a pissing contest. I'm merely saying they're both super important.
I would never do that between two writers.
Yeah. No, but it really does come down to art matters as much as writing. And this is one of those moments, because if you go back and watch the movie, it is a beautiful movie. Like the colors they used in it, the design of that, beautiful. Like if you muted it and put in your own words, it would be so much better. I
like Gotham, the landscape of Gotham.
Yeah,
that one and Batman Forever, and poor Schumacher, who is a fantastic director. You know him from A Time to Kill. You know him from Lost Boys. You know that this is just an incident. This is just a speck on his director career. He was trying to do what the studio wanted him to do, and it just went. So I don't blame it. Everybody has apologized for this movie. This movie is probably the most apologized for movie of all time. So, hey, look, at least we get that. Nowadays, they'll just tell you, well, it wasn't made for you. So, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm. I'll watch it. You didn't understand it, you bastards.
Nobody could understand it. Arnold Schwarzenegger was Dr. Freeze. So,
although I will say, Batgirl nipples. They had me at Batgirl nipples.
And from that, we're going to go to Honest Kid Review of
what
Soul
a great
Stream.
segue.
Not a very good segue.
And now back to children.
This is from Two Scout Geeks, the podcast. Finally back with a new Honest Kid Review, and just on time with Scoot's new title, Soul Stream by Saida Wolf. An amazing title by a very talented young woman. Check it out, and you'll see Scout is what it's all about.
Oh, come on. It's interesting. They got a Kalis poster right there. I think that's funny. That's a Silverline book. So
you know what? I love the fact that we're seeing more and more of the Scoot all ages kind of stories that are coming out and reaching the young readers again. I mean, that is a goal with Terraform as well, and we might be talking about that later.
And breaking news: Kalis to Scout confirmed. Just kidding. You saw landing. Like, wait, what?
I didn't know that. I thought the Brent Wednesday. Nothing.
This is how rumors start. This is like Meredith had to point something out, and suddenly they're gonna be like, "I saw on the weekend show with Robin that Kalis He said K-List is now part of Scoot Comics. I'm going to get 3 phone calls. I'm going to get a Roland Man. I'm going to get Scoot. I'm going to get my boss over at Scout from the Cat Dad book going, what did you say on your show, Rob? What did you say? I didn't. Meredith said it. Why am I always in trouble?
But you know what? I'm going to say this much. That is exactly why you get posters and bookmarks and stuff like that in your Kickstarters. Because one thing that Roland Man likes to do, he wants to have posters because he wants that on your wall. If you put it on your wall, if it's a good enough poster that you put on your wall, you won't forget it. And that's right there. And then you never know, you filming somebody giving a review and it's right there. So,
and speaking of Scout Comics, I swear this wasn't on purpose, C. Lanning. This wasn't on purpose, but like
a new announcement.
They're an up and coming just industry giant in the making, to be honest with you. The moves they've made in 2020 have made them a real player in 21. I would not be surprised to hear some huge announcements coming, including, fingers crossed, the Cat Dad, the movie.
That would be super cool.
George Clooney.
Oh.
That's how rumors start, kids.
I don't think he's going to touch another superhero movie. I might be wrong, but
Aw.
I know. Such a loss. I guess this is you, huh?
Is it you or me?
You. I had the.
Okay, so Cassidy Blonde shares Gorilla Galaxy Into the Chaos Zone. But this is a work in progress, and it can get better with time. So you're getting to see some of the sketches that are happening right now, the pencils. Captain Bedlam saved the universe at the cost of destroying Gorilla Galaxy. Head over to Ray Punk Science Fiction Adventure, created and written by Cassidy Bond.
All right. And of course, how can we go this long without having some Star Wars news? Star Wars *21, upcoming TV shows, games, comics, and more. Learn all about them, including impending releases like Lego Star Wars on IGN.com. So what Lego Star Wars is that? You guys check it out at IGN.com. Come over here to Comics Newswire and click on that link. Find out.
Do you know, I haven't watched any of the Lego movies. My husband is obsessed.
Lego Batman's the best Batman movie ever, hands down.
Okay.
Rob, I don't hear you. No, no, it's hilarious.
Like Lego Batman. I'll be honest. Jax likes it. I thought they clowned Batman a little too much. I think that they down. I get it's for kids. I get it. I didn't like it.
Well, I want to ask: should I be spending some time watching the Lego movies?
Yeah, I think they have entertainment value, granted. I don't like the Lego Batman, but I thought there was a lot in there. Like, they actually went through the history of his characters and brought in the most obscure characters, which was awesome. There are great moments in it. I just don't like that they clowned Batman the entire time. But it was their point of view, and I respected his art, and I watch it with my son. I even watch Teen Titans, and Batman gets clowned in Teen Titans, like, left and right.
Okay.
I'm going to say this much. The first Lego movie was really good. I wasn't too wild about the second one. But the Batman Lego movie is still good.
And the Star Wars ones are actually really fun. They are really, really fun. They have this one character, Roger, who I really, really enjoy. He makes me giggle. So.
Okay. Excuse me. So get notified of Kickstarter for Book of Lyaxia #4. Launching tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. So I guess that's today because this was announced yesterday.
I think it was we're still on Wednesday, huh? So it's out there, folks. Go see what it is.
Go check out Kickstarter and look up Lyaxia. I hope I'm saying that right.
I will say Lyaxia. So, it's Book of Lyaxia. Don't forget to add the Book of.
Book of Lyaxia. And that's #4. Okay, and we're scrolling. And we're scrolling.
Yeah.
And we're scrolling.
Of course, more Star Wars news. We always love Star Wars news here. Star Wars Battlefront 3 may be announced soon. That's from comicbook.com. Not being announced soon, but it may be announced soon. So take that with a grain of salt.
Again, he gets the short one.
Yeah, well, if you're curious, I'll put it this way. If you're curious about it, what they have to say, and what evidence they have for it may being announced soon, check it out at comicbook.com. And here you go. There's a good one right for you.
Again, I get the long ones. What the hell, Rob? All right. This is from Marvin Wynn, and he shared this on Comic Related Madness. We are still pushing along to get orders. Please get in contact with your local stores to place your orders for The Edge and the other Second Sight titles in the current issues of Previews. If you do not have a local store, the books are available from multiple online entities. So head over there, previewsworld.com. I don't see a code or anything here to order.
Nope.
Okay,
That's
so
not me. This is again. That's a drop ball. He
Right.
does the catalog thing, which will be nice enough to expand. That's why I was going down a little further to get the actual code. The new previews came out. It officially came out
for February. Very cool.
Yeah. And he used the wrong code. So
Yes.
the wrong.
Well, there I see chess,
Yeah.
which is I think the Edge and chess has done a crossover in the past. So, but what you can do is, if you are at all interested, head over to Previews World, and you can do a search for the Edge. I think Rob's doing that right now for us on the screen, and we are trying to find that coupon, or not the coupon code, the what is it called, order code.
That's why I think they must have. What it looks like is that they switched on him.
Yeah, this is the new catalog. I knew it was coming out this week because they were actually a day or two late. But a lot of times you can still order the book using code January JAN 211528. You can still tell your local comic book shops that you want a copy of The Edge from Second Sight Publishing.
Okay.
Let's see the next big one for Meredith. I think I'll take this one. The Greenhouse is the home of the most thought-provoking and engaging properties to come out of small press, and it is true. The Samaritan, to this date, is my favorite superhero in the independent creator market. Trouble with Love broke my heart, and I loved it being broken. Origins Unknown is amazing, and even a kid's book, The Kinderguardians. There's nothing, even he has this violent book, very violent, amazingly so. It's like the 40 ounce of death, and it is just fantastic.
To clarify, that's not the kindergartners, though, right?
No. That's why he has another book, to be clear, that is that. And he has another, just constantly, the things he puts out, how he's not making movies yet, it dumbfounds me. You know how certain people who should be there already and they aren't, and you're like just waiting for the day. And he's a friend, so I can't wait for the day because I'm going to be like, I better not have to wait in line for your signature. I should still be able to get hugs and pounds. Don't you dare do me dirty. The hardest working man, the man behind this is the hardest working man in comics, Victor Dandridge. Nothing but respect. I'm telling you right now, I can call it. He's not there yet, but he, like in wrestling, when they talk about the future Hall of Famer, he's a future Hall of Famer for the Independent Creator Hall of Fame. So, and by the way, for those who don't know, ICA this year adapted the fact that the C now stands for Creator and Actual Comic. Next year, you'll see a C on top of a C. We won't be a double C, but it'll have a double meaning. How cool is that? I know you guys like it. Here we go. It's time to talk about Pops. It's Pops time.
All right, talking about Double C, you have ComCon Europe edition coming at you January 30th, 2021. Make sure to check that out. You can come join in the madness. Of course, we know Pops is going to bring it.
He always does.
And
This is got this one, see?
I'll take this one.
Oh, you got this one. Okay.
Although notice it was short. I just want for the record, it was short. How Transformers became a monster hit comic without Marvel. After 10 years away from comics, Transformers rode a tidal wave of 80s nostalgia in the early 2000s, thanks to Dreamwave Productions, which I'm not even sure, I meant to look it up. I'm not even sure Dreamwave Productions is around anymore. I think they got absorbed by somebody else at some point. But this just goes to show you, Marvel's the reason that there were Transformers. Marvel gave up Transformers. Transformers then became an even huger hit. where Marvel no longer had any because without Marvel there wouldn't have been Transformers, because they used a lot of the Marvel stuff to then make the comic book and to actually make the deals and even to make some of the prototypes of this. And there was a person from Marvel who went to Hasbro to help them with their packaging and stuff. This was a dropped ball, but it goes to show you that there's no such thing as dead ends. They're just the end of that opportunity.
Pauses.
Survive. There's always second life. There's always more life, as Brother Love would say, in a body, even after death. And the Transformers prove that. With bringing back Optimus Prime, we had that one on the show, Michael, where they brought back Optimus Prime. We were like, how many times have they brought him back for life? And it was like a dozen.
I think it's at least 10. At least 10, I think we saw it.
Yeah, and the quote from me is Marvel dropped ball, became a competitor's success. Just think about that. There's someone in a Marvel office right now, or in a Disney office going, whoever did that's the dumbest idiot in the world. Look what they did with it later. And because those are the things, that's what bothers you. It's never the failures you have in-house, it's the failures you have that you gave away in someone else's success. True story. Will Eisner had the opportunity to have published Superman. If Will Eisner said yes to publishing Superman, he could have been what DC Comics became. Imagine if Will Eisner was the parent. It wasn't Detective Comics in the end of the day. It could have been Eisner World. And imagine the difference that could have been. Just food for thought. And Mike James says, if Marvel has taught us anything, it is Marvel characters never die. That's true. It's true. The Optimus was originally a Marvel character, so it makes sense now. Everything makes sense about Optimus. One last thing for our Wednesday news, and this one is for Meredith.
Oh, of course it is.
Really, Rob? Really? Okay, this is from Sean Keenan, and again, posted in Comic Related Madness for Fractured Shards. If you're a fan of Judge Dredd, Metropolitan. Yep. Okay, Ronin, Ghost in the Shell, or movies like Blade Runner, Watchmen, Minority Report, Dredd, and other futuristic detective action movies, then this graphic novel is for you. In a dystopian future, the world is separated into the glittering paradise of the lights and the slums of the district. Detective Sebastian Vitro works on the most horrific of cases between both worlds as an enforcement officer. When a horrific crime occurs, sometimes that moment can fracture, opening up glimpses into the event.
All right. So that's Wednesday. That was Wednesday, folks. Can you imagine?
All right, guys, and it's time to be transported into Thursday. But before we do that, we're going to hit a bump. So we're trying to do.
That's into the future, into the past.
There you go. So one of the bumps we're going to take today is with our good friend Roland Mann. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Roland Mann, and I run Silverline Comics, the genre-spanning independent comic and graphic novel publisher. And I'm here to tell you about our first Kickstarter for 2021. It's a double feature flip book. We've done a couple of those before. You probably remember them. Hopefully you do anyway. Well, this is our third one, and it features Teen Beetle #1 and Switchblade #1, the remix volume. So here's John Crowther to tell you about Teen Beetle.
Hi, my name is John Crowther. I'm the writer and creator of Teen Beetle. It's a 3-issue series I'm doing with Silverline Comics. It tells the tale of Blake Northrup. He's a teenager who has acquired the vitamin 2X. You might remember from the old Blue Beetle days. He's acquired it and he has used it to transform himself into Teen Beetle. However, he's also awakened some evildoers, such as Dr. Mantis, who are set on grabbing that vitamin 2X and using it for their evil means. So hope you follow us. We've got some great art by Del Barris and some great colors by Jerry Lou Smith. We're on Kickstarter and hope to have you aboard.
Thanks, John. But wait, there's more. On the flip side, we've got Switchblade #1. It's the remix. Some of you might remember that Switchblade was originally published in 1997 on newsprint. Yuck. We have digitally remastered every page, and the issue has been digitally colored by Aidan Belcher. So what is Switchblade? Well, let me tell you. Switchblade is the story of Scott Nathans, just a regular guy, but he's fed up with the failures in the justice systems. Seems like a lot of us today, right? Scott, who's a boxer in New Orleans, is pushed over the line when a local elementary-age girl is raped and murdered. and the killers get away, all because of a paperwork error. Scott takes it upon himself to see that justice is done and becomes a bit of a hero to the locals, but a vigilante operating outside of the law, and thus wanted by the police. And remember, both of these comics are completely finished. We could print them and ship them to you today, but that's where you come in. We need your help to get the funds so that we can print them and ship them to you. So, give us a look, pledge if you can, and if you can't pledge, you can still share. Tell all of your geeky, nerdy friends who like to read comics to go check it out. You can vouch for us, right? You're already familiar with.
And that is now available on Kickstarter. And we're back with the news coming off the Thursday Comics News Wire. And we still dream. This week we had the moment of passing where another birthday for Martin Luther King has come and gone. Sadly, he was taken from us too early. And I added to it for my headlines this week, and still pray to see those dreams come true. So with that, we lead off with Kamal Hennessy with Michael C. Lanning getting the bigger one. Thank you very much, Meredith.
Oh, I was going to give it to Meredith. No, okay. Comic book publishing contracts heavily favor the publisher and not the creator. Even so, a creator, even an inexperienced creator, does have one piece of leverage they can always exercise: saying no. Insight from comic book attorney and author Dirk Van Over. Check that out. The Business of Comic Book Publishing. Yeah, always say no. No means no. Is that what they say?
Well, it's also the deeper ideas that understand it. Talk to a lawyer before you. If you're reading a contract and you don't understand it, don't feel stupid. That might be a trick. That might have been done on purpose. That might be there because they want to intimidate you into signing something and not admitting it. Every contract I read, Meredith's been in a room with me. I start asking questions about it, and I'll ask people direct questions before I sign any contract. Even if it's the silliest thing, I will ask it out loud, because if I ever go to court over a contract and I say I asked this person this, and I always text my questions on purpose. And I get them to answer via text. Like, even if someone tries to call me up after I ask the question, I'll be like, I'm busy. I'm sorry. I'm with Jax. Can you just answer it in here? I do that on purpose, and so should you. Have people write out what they mean so there's no misunderstandings. Because there are so many people in courts right now because wording matters. And just one little, and Meredith's been in the room when we had to edit contracts. She knows how particular you have to get. You have to use the same title, the same prefaces, the same, even commas, which drives me crazy. The comma has to be in the right place. If it's in the wrong place, oh, here we go. This isn't what it meant. It meant that. It's like crazy. So please reach out for help before you get yourself into a contract with anyone. If you don't understand it, even ask a friend who has signed a contract, who's been around. Ask a couple friends, and let them help you out. Meredith, a little shorter for you.
Okay, Marvel Supercut reveals the comic moments that inspired the MCU. Marvel Entertainment shared a video showcasing specific comic panels or covers that influenced the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Phase 3 film. And if you scroll down a little bit, I can tell you where you can find the rest of this. Okay, that is at cbr.com. Go ahead, C.
Well, we could have made a game out of that. Let's see. We could say I bet comicbook.com. We could take guesses. Take turns taking guesses.
What do you think about that? I'm a little bit confused. So are they just showing images, or is this? Are these little trailers?
Well, right now on Disney Plus, they have Marvel Legends, which they kind of touch base on. They touch base on Wanda and Vision for the series to let you know some backstory behind them in the movies. This seems to also kind of show you where they pulled ideas from the comic book to make the movies now, which is good, because not too long ago we had a discussion somewhere. Someone had a discussion about not being thanked, writers not being thanked, not getting credit, only getting that thanks. So I guess this is kind of Marvel's way of giving credit to those writers. Hopefully, we'll see.
And then also, just as to what Meredith was asking about really quickly, so the basic idea here is that this is going to be an inside secret. No one can tell anyone that I told you all this. But believe it or not, all these television shows and all these movies, They all come from ideas from these things called comic books. Don't tell anyone I told you that.
What?
So this is specifically showing you that moment that was filmed right there and used over and over again to actually advertise the movie came from a comic book cover. It'll blow your mind. I'm serious. CBR covered it. And to Meredith's point and Michael's point about the reason we use CBR and comicbook.com so much and we don't use other sites, I find them to be more trustworthy and more on the point with their news. If I find someone who's doing something I don't like, I don't cover them. If they like, you're never going to see, we got this covered on this show. I will put that out there right now. We got this covered. We'll never make this show until they actually put out, we give up. We're sorry. We're done. That'll be the one and only time that they will be in the actual the CNW for us. So, all right. News
I have a hint. I see a little hint of what's coming up. Oh boy, Eagle Raven, heir of the first unicorn, from Daphne Lage. We are 3 backers away from breaking my backer record held by Tall Tales number 3 and 4, and 21 backers away from the 100th person winning this full color marker sketch. To think that's not print, that's color marker. That's amazing. Support Eagle Raven, heir of the first unicorn, on Kickstarter today. So make sure, maybe you can get in there. I don't know if you're going to be able to become the 100th person, but get over there and do that. Support it. It's a beautiful looking book.
It really is.
Yeah.
I love it. For me, it's kind of a coming of age book, and I think it's really cool. And this is from dailyitem.com. Local libraries video series focuses on comic book. He really knows his comic books, as Wendy wrote, library director, speaking about McLean. He really knows the history of them.
Could you check that, Rob? Because I don't think that name's correct. Are they talking about Mark McKean or here in this name?
That's the name on the image, though. Mark McKenna.
McKenna, right?
No, Mark McKenna is the guy signing at the table.
Okay.
Notice how they're pointing to the kid. The kid is the guy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, where does it say that name? Like, even I was starting to be like,
a little confused.
I know Mark. Mark's
related.
A great guy.
Let's see. I might be wrong here. I took it that this no, that might be him. It actually might be. Let's take a deeper look. I thought it was amazing that a library was doing something like that. Mm-hmm. It might just be a name that sounds like someone we know. Yeah, hosted by Mark. Yeah,
Michael McLean. Okay.
Nope, Meredith's right. Yeah, I don't remember the name being there, but
I think you're right. It must be the kid. I think.
Oh, it's definitely the kid.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not the older guy. It's the one being pointed to. I get that just from the imagery. I just didn't know if he was with another comic artist. When I saw it, I thought he was just with a comic artist.
Okay, because McLean is saying there are different types of fans out there: circulation and adult programming for the West End Library. So I guess you're going to just have to head over to the site and read the article.
Yeah,
but it's awesome that a library's talking about comic books and that they're empowering someone to show up and talk about comic books. That's the win here. I don't care what the kid's name is. I mean, I want to get it right, of course, because we want to show love to him for everything he's doing for comics. But like, this is the bigger stories this is about a library talking about comics. Goes with comics in kids' hands.
I think libraries are a wonderful resource for, author signings and things like that, and sitting and talking about your books. Why not comic books?
And Pops says that it's Mark because that's
Mark McKenna is the old guy.
That's who I thought it was. That's why when you were talking about Michael, I got my wires crossed and I started paying attention when Lanning was talking about it. Yeah, because I knew that guy. And I was like, wait a minute. No, it's not the old guy. I know it wasn't the old guy.
No, that's what I was saying. And I was wondering because their names are similar. McKenna, McLean. I was like, well, did they get that wrong? Because I know I got his name.
Yeah, and I was a little bit confused with the image too.
And you get people like, it was clearly,
Go ahead, Michael.
Well, and you get people like Mark McKenna, who's awesome. I've met Mark McKenna. He's a fantastic guy to talk to, really open and everything. And you get people like that to get in there and go, and really, he will be in there to hype up those people about comic books. I promise.
And you know what? We're all idiots in this room. Why are we all idiots? Look to the top left corner.
Well, yeah, Mark.
That's not what I wasn't talking about that, though.
I saw the
No,
name
but
on the
remember
table.
we came in here and we were trying to figure out things because his name's down here. See what I'm saying? Like, you know, both their names are actually in the image. So,
okay.
So the image was actually of Mark. Michael's the guy. So we were both right. We just all confused each other the way that we were talking. The name Mark McKenna is wrong. To be clear, Mark McKenna is not the guy doing the reviews at the library. I want to make sure that we're clear because now I don't even know what we've said. To clarify, it is Michael McLean because I do think you read Mark. And when I jumped in, because I think you saw it on the image and you might have said Mark, or that's what I did. And I came in all confused. So now we've clarified that. The kid who's doing an amazing job at the library, his name is Michael McLean. And Mark McKenna is a god in comics, basically. He is one of those guys who's done it all and is inspired.
I have some stuff right back there from Mark.
Oh.
Yeah.
From Mark. So,
yeah, he's a big deal. And I want to make sure we get this right now because now there could have been confusion. We're going to clarify it right now just because, you know, there was a name on a photo. And when I came into it, because Lanning was right, because you see that image and I'm like, wait, did they get the name wrong? Because, you know, that happens. I didn't write the article, so now I'm like, wait a minute, did Meredith read it how they wrote it?
No, yeah, it says
I'm back here looking up names, and I didn't see his name up top, and I'm like, I'm an idiot. It's right.
Well, it says McLean on it, and my question was because they didn't specify who McLean was, right? I was like, no, it's McKenna, not McLean.
No, you were right. You were right to call it out because we want to make sure there's clarity on this program. So.
Yeah.
But now that you say that he's pointing at the guy, that makes sense.
Makes sense.
That's McLean. That's Mike McLean.
Yeah, so there we go. Everyone's clear. We're going to move on very quickly before we screw this up. we got it clear. We're going to move on past all the noise.
And it was 15 minutes of Weekend It right there. And y'all wonder how we get through this show.
Meanwhile.
This is I know this image as from Luke Stone, and I think this is an image because I don't see any names. It's an image from his upcoming Voodoo Nations #2 with Travis Gibb. Let's see. And well, I pretty much
I don't know what
Luke
to say
Stone
here. I don't know. I'm just going to leave the room for a minute.
Luke, where's the description for this?
If I'm not mistaken, I think this is from the upcoming Voodoo Nations #2 that he's working with Travis Gibb. So,
and you know the thing that I love about that art is that you can see in the eye, and it's like, oh yeah, that was really sweet.
And it's a headline for me this week. The book has some magic to it. In danger. Soon on Kickstarter. I can be mysterious too. This is what's next.
The House of Indie with Adam Barnhart.
Hold on, Meredith. Oh, I was really hoping there.
New episode with Adam Barnhart. We discussed shit show this creative process. Also, does he send fans locks of his hair if they ask? That's a little odd. Well, you're going to have to listen to find out. Head over to houseofindiepod.com.
So what's weirder, asking for it or sending it?
You know what? I mean, I think people will send just about anything through the mail.
You're not going to ask for it. You're going to have to pay for it. That's
yeah. You want a lock of my hair?
I do know that Meredith's on a show where they have a shoe cam. So to be competitive for the future from now on, Michael,
I have a lot of hair.
We're going to do a hair cam.
I mean, if anybody wants to pay for my hair, my goodness.
We're going to do a hair cam. It's going to be behind everyone. If you have a bald spot, that'll be a very embarrassing show to be on. Everyone will now have the hair cam on them.
We'll do a whole show that way. It will be a Memorial Day, a Memorial Weekend special.
The news brought to you by the hair.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I can't segue into this one, so we're just going to go. Comic book reviews of Once and Future #15. Callum Petrie reviews Once and Future #15 on flickeringmyth.com. So if you haven't been paying attention to Once and Future, go check out what they have to say about #15. Maybe it'll get you interested.
Okay. Well, who's our Hulk? You're the Hulk guy, aren't you? See?
I like him all right. He's not a huge Hulk person, but
He likes She-Hulk, but this is an important one, kids. Actually, this is pretty cool. Go ahead. I don't care who reads it.
Okay, well, I'll read it. Immortal Hulk paid homage to a very special punch. In this latest look at creators talking about comics within their comics, CSBG shows a clever tribute to a Hulk legend in an issue of Immortal Hulk. And you can find this on CBR.com.
all right.
Cool thing about this is it shows how much the creators, our generation of creators right now, the one we're in, how much we're influenced by the ones before us. We are literally the first generation of comic book creators who showed up dying to be comic book creators. Most of the comic book creators before us didn't like comic books, were ashamed about being comic book creators, felt like that it wasn't really an art form. And we're the generation that's made it an art form. We have carried what they did and we have made it something. And we go back and we pay our dues back to them because we look at them as giants. As I said, you know, Mark's a god. He is. He's done so much in the industry. He becomes one of those comic gods that, you know, we will talk about one day the influence he's had on the medium. And that's what this is right now. Someone being a fan. Just imagine that moment. Like when I get to write Batman, there's something in Batman that I've always wanted to play with that I saw one time, and it's going to be something I bring up because I was influenced as a fan. They didn't have that back in the day. They didn't have those moments they could dig from the past. This was a cool moment, so I thought it was cool to share.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I do like the Hulk. I have no problems with the Hulk whatsoever. And of course, I do love She-Hulk.
Yeah, I was going to say it's about She-Hulk. If this was about She-Hulk, he would have been all over.
Oh, of course, absolutely, and the upcoming show. So, but I'm about this too. I'm always about Star Wars: The High Republic, which has they're launching short series to kind of get you in the mood for the upcoming High Republic stuff that they have coming out. So we're moving into a new era of Star Wars by checking out the old era of Star Wars. If you want to know more about that, check it out at comicbook.com.
And Mike said, back in the old days, I remember people calling comics funny books. Absolutely correct. And by the way, he says it's Lucas, or Bishop Lucas is in his eye in that piece of art. Good catch there, Mike. Yes, that is.
Yep, from Luke Stone. Well, the problem is Luke Stone didn't put any kind of description in there. He just put art.
He did in one group, and I was disappointed. I don't know where that one was, and I didn't have time to dig it up when I added that. But I also put the when the past becomes not when the past becomes present. There's a kind of magic to it for the headline. I think it's great art, and sometimes teaser art like that's also awesome without words. Sometimes that is kind of like, ooh, what's that? You know, so it could go either way. You know,
just as long as we know who it is that put it up. And if it was by the author, I mean by the artist.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do think that he should have at least tagged the page, though. So
yeah.
Travis usually makes pages for everything he does, like I do. You know, like I'm not the only one with 1 million pages, Meredith.
Well, let's see. There's a new Kickstarter coming out called The Incantessi. It's written and illustrated by Rich Parada. It comes out February 1st. Apostrophe 21 at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 p.m. Mountain, 3 p.m. Pacific. So written and illustrated by Rich Parada, Incantessi created by Rich Parada and Sophia Brocani. So check that out. That was in 11 days. Now I guess we're down to 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
So take a look.
All right.
Jax gives us this one. Jax loves the Jurassic Park thing, and he saw me playing videos yesterday. And we played one video. We wound up happening to find this story on comicbook.com. Jurassic Park World, the Dominion, is going to be a
Culmination.
Thank you. Of the entire franchise, director says. How cool is that? They're going to make everything matter in this movie. And I give him a lot of credit. Star Wars doesn't even want to make everything matter anymore. Like, we just forget the last three.
And that's the thing. And this is including the first 3 movies as well. The director said that he wants it to be a complete story. So from the very first Jurassic Park all the way up to this, he wants this to be kind of a bookend to the whole series. So
we'll
see.
Wasn't there 4 original ones?
There was 3 original ones. The 4th one was in talks to be with Laura Dern, but that fell through, and Jurassic World came out instead.
I know it's just been a lot of dead dinosaurs on the screens lately. And Jax loves it. Every second, you cannot do enough. He runs around like a crazy kid, like loves dinosaurs. All right, Meredith.
What do we have here?
You can read
So this is Mythica Maniacs fan art from the front.
Meredith, can you read the inside?
I think so. So Skylar Partridge. Skylar is an amazing artist, and her work has been gracing the covers of Mythica Comics on more than one occasion. Not only did she do the cover for issue 6, but she also made the amazing cover for Albuquerque Comic-Con exclusive. Who knows? Maybe her work will grace the pages of Mythica once again in the future. See more of Skylar's amazing work here. Facebook.com, Sky Partridge Art. And give her a follow on Facebook.
I think it's Partridge Art. I think you're right. Here we go.
Yes. Okay. So we've had a lot of awesome fan art over the years with some amazing artists. We want to give you a chance to be featured in the upcoming Mythica comic book. Submit your Mythica fan art to actionlinestudios@gmail.com by February 24th. So you've got some time, folks. 2 pieces will be selected and featured along with a bio of each of the 2 artists. Well, that's a pretty cool opportunity.
Yep. All right. So that looks like that might be the end of Thursday.
It is. And with that, we're going to move on to Friday. But first, we're going to take a bump. But before we do that, if you want your event, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or news shared on our site, send us an email with all the info needed to advocate for your news to comicsnewswire@yahoo.com. And we're going to play another bump, and you guys might actually be aware of this one.
Hello? Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Welcome to the Compendium of Dread, an anthology of dark fiction that encompasses crime, horror, the paranormal. Your perceptions of the world around you may forever be changed.
I thought you were going to warn me before you showed that. See?
No, it's even more fun when I don't. And Mike,
I get goosebumps and not the good kind.
That's the whole point of that video. Now you got to buy it to see exactly where the goosebumps
What's in it?
See what dwells in Meredith's mind. Mike
It's
James,
dark. Darkness.
Mike James says the Compendium of Dread anthology of dark fiction will end on Thursday, the 28th of January at 7:50 a.m. Why 7:50 a.m.? That's such a weird time.
I know. It's not even when I launched the darn thing. So that doesn't make any sense to me.
Someone didn't look. They set up their campaign at like 8 in the morning, didn't realize that was going to be the end time, because that's exactly what happened. I guarantee you. She's like, I'll end on the 21st. Forgot to look at what time on the 21st. And I was like, it'll be fine. So you have to wake up, do like a show at 7:30. We're closing this out, guys. Oh, God.
I won't sleep the night before. That's it. You're just going to see me like wired on coffee.
But here we are. We're on Friday.
Bloodshot eyes.
We're on Friday's news. This is the end of the news. So we're going to cover all the things that are part of our wire today, including Creators Connections Panel 1 Anthology. Download your copy today. It's a free comic book from Comic Book School. Look, you just click a link.
144 pages of goodness.
Yeah, there you go. That's what Meredith said. I try not to use those words because I'm in it. I'm actually part of it. And whenever you're part of something, it's tacky to call it anything of an adjective. So I try to stay away from that, even though
Rob.
Even though it is awesome. I mean, just not everyone else's work was awesome. Mine was okay. Meredith, you're up.
This is from Rick Hernandez. Sharing and checking out my store would help me a lot. An ebook with over 260 pages. Make sure that you head over to and check out Latin America. What was that? Furia? Oh, okay. Here we go. Latin America State of Furia. All right. So I made a short promo video to see if people will give me a hand sharing this and checking it out. If you're into sci-fi mixed with some comedy and horror, then you can try my book, Latin America's State of Furia, A Red Dawn. It's a post-apocalyptic future from a Latino perspective in dealing with the end of the world. I have a few samples you can read. Upload it here. So yeah, definitely head over to Rick Hernandez's Facebook page. He's got a link here, payhip.com/Sequencia Publishing. Sequencia has a different spelling. Okay, think Hispanic, you guys.
So what is that Spanish for? Is that century or?
I would think sequential, but I haven't had
Sequential?
Spanish since I was in high school. So yeah, I don't want to miss it. But honestly, I'm really glad to see artists and writers coming out with those with Latina characters.
Yeah.
I would love to see more Asian, and things like that. Just really a diverse group of creators creating for their and touching on their different cultures and things like that.
All right. Now we have Batwoman, Javicia Leslie teases season 2 characters who will be inspired by Ryan Wilder. If you're curious for that, it comes back Sunday nights and check it out on comicbook.com. And Mr. Anderson says this feels like it got upgraded and is now in unknown and exciting territory. So we'll see.
Rob Anderson, announcer voice. What prompted that headline?
The fact that its first episode just played. I'm guessing I'm the only one in the room who's watched it.
I haven't seen it at all.
We've talked about this. We were here when we talked about when this show first started coming on in its current format. One of the first stories we did was Ruby Rose leaving, not getting fired, but she left. It's literally one of the first shows we actually did, Meredith, and you were on it. And we have covered this story now in all that time, having gone the full circle with it. And we didn't know how it was going to turn out. And I'll tell you, I love it. I love how they handled it. I really like the new character. I'm excited about it. As a matter of fact, I like it better. To be honest with you both, I like it better. It doesn't feel like they're following the script anymore. Like, you knew in Batwoman they were trying to follow this idea of everything was supposed to be. Ruby Rose leaving broke that. And now they're like, let's just do it. I will say that I was disappointed with how they handled a certain storyline. But I also think that was because they had started it in the last season and had to wrap it. And I don't think they wanted to continue going down that road. Because that happened. I mean, this was a transition point. They had to completely change it. But I was blown away about how interesting it is. I'm all in. I even have theories. Like, it made me excited. And Mike said that, by the way, the CW has such a broken return schedule, makes me crazy. Yeah, they are not. And again, this was a side effect of 2020. We have to be patient. There was a lot of things that went wrong with this. The only reason they're ahead out of all the other shows was they had to do so many things over that they started earlier because they knew they were ahead of. They had to do so much to try to get ahead of what was going on with Ruby Rose leaving.
Well, I wanted to say that I haven't watched any of the Batwoman seasons 1 or 2, or I guess it's season 2 is coming up. But I'm probably going to be like nudged and encouraged to watch it, just like The Mandalorian. I finally broke down and watched that. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
And moving on. Oh, one more thing. I haven't seen it yet, but I look forward to it. I liked it. I honestly, and I went into it not expecting to like it. I'll be honest. I was open-minded, but I was like, oh, this shit. You know, when you start something, you're like, oh, here we go. Here's the shit. Like, what are they going to do? How are they going to screw it up? It's going to be stupid. I'm not going to like it. And then all of a sudden I was like, damn, this is good. And that's why I tuned in, because I want to be wrong. I want to be proven that there could be this exciting new character they're going to bring in. And the way they did it worked. It just worked. They were really clever with it. And I was like, bravo. Honestly, bravo.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a new character, and she's only premiered in the comic book since they've casted her. Yeah. So this is a whole new character taking on this role. So we're not bound by our preconceived notions of who the Batwoman was at this point, right?
Yeah, yeah, and the way that she gets past it, it makes sense. It's organic. It was such an organic start. Like, I was blown away how good it was that I am so hopeful for this entire season of the CW. I don't know. It feels like there was a shift in writing over the last year since the pandemic started, and the writing has gotten so much more exciting on TV. I'll geek out for a second. So we don't have a lot of news left, and we have a couple extra minutes. I've been watching. I don't know if you guys watched the Prodigal Son.
Mm-hmm.
I know it, but I haven't watched it. No.
Okay, so they touched on a storyline where one of the cops got harassed by other cops, and it was done so powerfully and so well. Chicago PD has dealt with the events really well. The Rookie has dealt with the events of this last summer really well. I think that everything that writers have seen, they've now digested and realized, let's talk about it in a very honest way. And we're seeing like just amazing. I gotta take my hat off. I've been blown away by the stuff coming out since 2020. As a writer, I'm impressed by the things that are going on. And we don't see shows like Liar Liar anymore. We're seeing, like, I think almost more adult programming returning now, and I think there's a leveling up of the writing. It's not dumbed down anymore. Well, that's just my take on it for right now. We'll have to see when the season ends.
I agree with a lot of what you said, but I think a lot of that is also because they didn't have the production schedule that they needed, necessarily, had things been, running as it was, so I think they had the extra time, and I'm not certain, but I'm just kind of guessing that because everything was shut down, production as far as getting the actors in there, being able to shoot the scenes and stuff like that, they probably had more time to really write some solid dialogue and get those scenes figured out on paper before they sent it to the actors.
I'm sure it helps that producers aren't showing up to the sets as much, and you don't have that. Well, I think we should do this, and I think we should do that. This is like, sorry, we can't have you there. We have too many people in the room.
Exactly.
I think almost the freedom right now with the writers where they're able to write. I'm sure they're getting calls, but the ratings are going to determine it. And it feels awesome. Like watching these shows, there's an energy about it. Some of them are struggling, like Blue Bloods. I'm a huge fan of that show. It's struggling. It doesn't know what to do with this because of the events of this last summer. And I'm not being political. I'm just giving you my take on it as someone that you guys tune in to hear from. I don't know if they have felt it. And there's been a change. There's been a shift, and we're seeing it in our programming, in our shows. Some shows ignore the pandemic. And I said the P word. I'm not supposed to. Some people ignore it completely, and some people kind of act like it's come and gone, and now it's over, hedging the bets that it's going away now. So it's interesting. It's affected us, guys, and we're starting to see that outside effect. Like, you're looking at some of the stuff Marvel's putting out. The writers are on fire. The writing is different. There's just something different. There's something raw and honest about it, like we haven't seen in years. And I'm in love with it. I am in love with it, to be honest with you. All right, I'm off. I'm done. I'm done talking, being a geek. I said it the other day. I'll never be cool, but I'll always be a geek.
That's just you.
Is it me?
Yep.
Marvel Comics, April 2021, solicitations and covers revealed. This is at gamesradar.com. Head over there and find out more. I am loving this art. I'm looking at all the Spider-Mans in there, and I'm like, that is so friggin' cool.
It's a Spider-Man and the Spider and Venom in the background, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Very cool.
Had to put a lot together. I feel for the graphic artist. Marvel fans are not happy about Black Widow being delayed again. Black Widow just can't catch a break. If you want to find out about that, check out comicbook.com. There are people waiting for this movie to drop, and it seems like their hearts keep constantly getting broken.
Yep.
At this point in time,
whammy.
It's going to feel like by the time this movie comes out, Scarlett Johansson is going to be in a remake on Golden Pond.
Oh no!
So she don't look the same.
Black Widow with golden years.
Oh God!
Well, if you've seen Avengers, you know that's not going to happen. Although it is Marvel.
It is comics, right? Like it's comics. Like we're just waiting for someone to come back, except she's going to be younger and somehow, I don't know if it's possible, but they're going to go for it, hotter. I think it's going to be a redheaded dude. All right. I think it's going to be the guy from Harry Potter. And except he's going to be jacked now. That kid, he's going to come and just be jacked. Just like, oh my God, he looks like The Rock, but redheaded. This is awesome.
Oh my gosh, he's on another show right now, so we'll see. We'll have to see, watch him get jacked on the other show. So
he looks creepy on that show. I know the show you're talking about. I don't know. He looks creepy. That's why I thought it was a funny joke. I hadn't even seen him lately.
See, you want this one?
Sure. New Conan the Barbarian comic book series announced. Is it time for the year of the Barbarian again? We've got Conan coming out, and then we have a He-Man series in the work. So the new Conan the Barbarian comic book series announced, Bounding into Comics. Blaze Publishing just announced they will be releasing this. You want to check it out? Go see what they have to say on boundingintocomics.com.
Two things I do want to talk about really quickly here. First off, the He-Man thing, they're redoing. I thought that he was already in. There was already a He-Man going on.
No, there's a Kevin Smith one coming in with Mark Hamill as Skeletor.
Oh, the Netflix. You're talking about
Netflix, yeah.
Not a comic. Okay, because they are doing a comic right now that I've been semi-following from a distance. I'm a He-Man fan. I'm so broke right now that when I go to Target and I see He-Man and his what the hell is the cat's name?
Battle Cat.
Battle Cat, thank you. I know his name when he's not Battle Cat is Courage. Right? It's Courage. He's like a panther, and then Skeletor's got his own. And I loved He-Man, and I can't afford it right now.
Cringer.
My heart. Cringer, thank you.
Cringer. Yeah.
So I look at this, and I'm like, I want to be able to buy toys, and my kid looks at me like, "Grow up, kid." You know.
Well, yeah, because he repackaged the old toys and put them back out. That tripped me out. I saw that one day,
and they're expensive.
I know
it's not like they're cheap. They're like, I saw the Transformer that's for Back to the Future. It's $60.
You can keep it.
Just use his gun and shoot me to get that kind of money. Come on, you got New York. You got to use weapons. Second thing, women always complain about, women are sexualized. It's impossible to look like the person in the comic. Let me tell you, Conan, there's not a human being in the world, not a human being who can look like that. Not even The Rock can look like that. There are muscle places I have studied human anatomy. There just aren't muscles where they're putting muscles there. So all you women who think it's hard to live up to the expectation, that's the shit us guys think you fantasize about. When we're going to the gym, we're trying to look like that no matter how impossible it is. We're trying to look like that. And all you guys have to do is get skinny and take off some clothes. We have to do that to our body. How? How?
See, now I'm old. I kind of like the dad bod, okay? Just saying.
I think actually most of the women I talk to find that disgusting, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you find
all those veins.
I got to the point where I could bench press 450 pounds. And I had girls come up wanting to touch my arms, and then they would tell me, because this was at fetish parties, they would tell me, it's got to be uncomfortable to cuddle with you. Like, I don't know if I'd want someone that big on top of me, like that. You're pretty intimidating. Like, you don't realize it till you start getting that big. Like, yeah, women don't want that. They want the cuddlier guy, honestly. They want to look at a guy like that when they're having, and think about that guy when they're having sex with you. I know it sounds sucky, guys, but it's true. But at least they're having sex with you. So take the win. Take the win.
Again, I'd like to remind everyone that opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of everyone participating.
But everyone just thought at home. He's right. It's not what we normally talk about, but that's news. It's actually true. That's damn true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, this goes back to the truth pandemic from earlier.
Oh, goodness. Okay, what do we have here? Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous sets the dinosaurs free in season 2 clip. This is an exclusive. Head over to comicbook.com to find out more.
Brought to you by Jax again. And let me tell you, that's an awesome series, but this is a kids thing. And you can tell it's made for all different audiences. So this is transcribed in different languages. Because they don't write anything. And when you don't see wording written out, it's because it's meant for different markets, just as an FYI to everybody. Though the interesting thing about this is they kill people in this cartoon, not very viciously, but close to like the movies. And I was like, how are they getting away with it? And then I was like, oh yeah, Netflix.
Yeah.
The same people who brought you Bounding.
Tell us how you really feel, Rob.
Yeah, right?
Well, if we have the time.
Oh, well, we have to go on to Luke Stone. Look, Luke Stone says that this will be a free print to all the first day backers. Help him spread the word and sign up for the February 1st launch. And that's launch for his comic book Hybrids. I believe it's number 6. So look for that from Luke Stone coming February 1st to get you that cool chlorine print.
And this is going to be part of the Killing Field saga, which is the next big story arc. This kicks it off. Art's by Alan, colorist. Apparently, that's his name, Alan.
What a convenient name to have. I'm a colorist. My name is Alan Colorist.
Ooh, Meredith, this one's you, and you
is it?
You have to read my quote at the bottom.
Okay. Gee, I wonder why I haven't seen this yet. Okay, Godzilla versus Kong headlines. The trailer confirmed for this Sunday. New poster teases an epic showdown. Comicbookmovie.com. I just geekgasmed all over myself, said Mr. Rob Anderson.
That is not something that rolls off the tongue.
Do we know? Okay, so scroll up again. What was the release date for this?
Sunday.
March.
Sunday.
Sunday is just for the trailer. Like this is just to geek out at a trailer, Meredith. That's how much of a geek I am. And I'll be there on Sunday, just all excited. I'll show Jax.
About the trailer.
Jax loves Godzilla, so this has been a big thing for us. And now it's against Kong. Oh, come on. How do you not like instant? And it's going to be straight to video, HBO in March.
That's what I was going to ask you. Where is it going to be? Okay, so video on demand?
No, it's going to be part of HBO Max.
Oh, HBO Max.
Yeah, I think it will also be on video on demand, and I think it is getting a theater release, and I might actually take Jax to the theater. I might see if I can get my sister together, and we all go rent out AMC for like $75, take it over for the day, and do this because it's his birthday in the end of February, and I thought it'd be cool if it comes out early enough in March to kind of extend it and make it like a birthday thing. So, I'm like, okay.
I love the idea of renting at a theater.
It's fun. My family did it for Christmas, and it really, really was kind of nice. Again, sticky floors make me think that I might have gotten corona if that was in the room, like almost guaranteed. So they are not cleaning it the way they should. There's a reason you movie theaters aren't trusted. It's because you guys can't clean up in a normal day. What do we think you're going to do? I've worked in a movie theater. Trust me, they're just like sweep the floor.
I didn't say my first job.
Yep, I didn't see any sanitizing equipment when I went. I had my wipes with me. I wiped my seat down. I Cloroxed my area, and I was good.
Let me tell you, when you try to sweep over the one kernel of popcorn over and over and over again, and you have not moved it,
and you start losing pieces of the broom to it.
Yeah.
The things start coming out. It just starts growing.
You just forget it. It was here for 25 years. It was be here for 25 more.
It's actually when you quit. Nope, it moved. I'm out of here.
Yeah. If it ever moved, that's kind of like your that's your guidance. Your guide. If that thing moves, I know it's time to leave.
Oh my goodness.
All right. And here we go from our friend Vera Sam, the hilarious comic book promo video. The crazy man, he lost his mind. Check that out on youtube.com for The Crazy Man. That is for his new book coming out, Catch the Crazies, #2. So go support Sam.
Yeah, and I had him on Geek Speak last night with a few other guests. Yep, good to talk to him.
It was.
All right, here we go with the Avengers pays tribute to Chadwick Boseman with a subtle homage. Marvel's Avengers #41 honors the late Black Panther actor Chadwick Boseman with a fitting homage. And Mike Bennington says, Godzilla.
March 26th, he was telling us. Remember, we didn't know the date. He said March. So a little late for Jax's thing, but who cares? We'll do it for something else. I'll find a reason to celebrate it.
Just celebrate it for the sake of celebrating, you know? I mean, any day above ground is a good one, I think. Daniel said,
The tribute is nice though. Like we're just reading comments from out there, but the tribute is really nice and it's a subtle homage. And check it out at CBR. But yeah, thank you, Mike, for the heads up about Godzilla. And it's always this was someone who's taken from us too soon. Hashtag too soon. You know, and hashtag respect for Marvel doing that. Because now he's also part of the comic book in a unique way, in a fun way. This was the reason I came into is we already talked about this, but it was from a different group. This was him talking about it at, I believe, ours, the Comics Newswire. I think the other one was the Indie Connector. And because each day is different, we do give people different love when they're spreading their love in different ways. Is anyone a Magic fan in the room?
I have played Magic.
All right, you're up.
That's what I'm going to say. I've played Magic. Magic the Gathering Comics announced. You can check that out at comicbook.com, and they have all sorts of different things for Magic. So this should be interesting if they're going to go with the Planeswalkers or any of the many different things that Magic has. They even have steampunk, which would be interesting to see them explore. So I don't know who it's from, so you got to go to comicbook.com to find out who that's from. Maybe you could play the comic books as cards, use them as mana.
I don't know. I don't play.
No, you have to have mana. You put the mana down, it adds a power to your card. It's a long, tedious process, and you can see a whole bunch of weird geeks getting fist fights over it. It's fun.
Okay. Superman and Lois trailer teases what's to come and gives off some serious Man of Steel vibes. Ooh. This is over at the CW, and you can check out more on comicbookmovie.com. All
right. It's hard for me to see him as Superman. He works, but I remember him from Teen Wolf, so it's hard to cross that over. Werewolf, Superman, Silver, that kind of thing. I guess there's something there. I'm sure of it. All right. Trevor Marquardt says, I'm working on the launch of the second issue in this 4-issue series. Once again, it's H.P. Lovecraft's Beauty and the Beast. It's the comic series that imagines H.P. Lovecraft writing a weird fiction version of the classic fairy tale. So I'm sure we'll see some Cthulhu in there probably.
Well, look at this. New comic book store opens in Square One. Do you love comic books, graphic novels, and plushies? If so, you need to head over to insaga.com to find out more about this new comic book store.
What is Square One? I'm not
Is that
familiar with that.
No, Square One. I guess this is a northern thing. Square One was a what the hell were they? Were a store I never shopped at. Clearly, I want to say that they were like house end things that they just went out because it was like weird stuff. It was like what you'd expect like a preppy person's home to look like.
Like a Pier 1 or something.
Yes. Oh, I got you.
Like one of those types of stores, if I remember correctly. Let me see, because they also listed. I'm looking it up as malls too. So there are some things that call it a mall. But I know that there was a store and it was up north, but I don't know how long ago that was. So this might have been also at a mall because it did open at a mall and there are Square One malls now. But it was like one of those knockoffs for a short time. And I saw it up north and it didn't last long. So I assumed it was the store, but it could also be a mall. The important thing is a comic book store open.
So, the forest from the trees, I get it. But
conspiracy, comics, games, and anime.
Yeah, and Mike says he has played Magic the Gathering, but the comics often fail. And got a picture with Tyler in 2019 in Dallas Fan Expo. And happy he gets the series. So, yeah, it's always good to see a series come of it. You never know what's going to happen with those deals. Those are weird deals because they're part of a franchise and all that.
Well, the Tyler thing is Superman.
Yeah. No, but I'm talking about the comic that he was talking about. The series looks great, but I'm talking about the comic itself because he's talking about comics often failing. That's going to be just what it's going to be. Those are harder to deal with. That's either your fan base is there or it's not. And you need the fan base. That's not going to get anyone new in it. I didn't like Magic. I don't need the card games I played were bullshit, War, and 21. I don't even like poker.
My wife is a big Magic fan. That's how I ended up playing.
Gotcha. Nothing against it. I was doing Cyberpunk at that time. So to me, Cyberpunk was
Yeah.
more.
I get that.
That's all. I'm not a big Magic person, if you guys notice. Like, nothing against it. I just, the only
It's not your
magic guy likes in the bedroom. So we saw this a little
It's
earlier.
a kind of magic.
And it plugs into the wall and it shines.
See, don't do that to me. Damn it.
But back into the galaxy of comics.
Without magic, we got some space here. Guardians of the Galaxy number 13 kicks off Marvel's new Space Age, new teammates, new costumes, and a new artist as Al Ewing begins the next era of his critically acclaimed run. Check it out at marvel.com so you know that it's factual. We got, and if you can't see the picture, we've got Star-Lord, Gamora, and Nova busting out. That'd be it. Nova as part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Is that a thing? I don't know. Maybe it will be. It's a new team.
Yeah, it's a new team. It's a new day. Yes, it is. And we saw, again, some of these things we did see earlier in the week, different groups it's been part of. I don't think we talked about this one, though, Meredith.
We did not. The Silver Coin, Major Comic Creators Unite for Horror Anthology Series. You can find this on IGN.com.
They look like they're trying to beat Japanese horror writer Junji Ito. Good luck with that. That guy is twisted. So if you haven't read any of that he's a horror manga comic book author, and he's got some weird stuff, and that's what that image reminds me of.
See, if you've got links for that, send it to me in a DM.
Oh, sure, absolutely. We'll talk after the show.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so moving on. 5 days. We saw this a little earlier. Still wish we had that link. Maybe in a different group he put a link. Maybe he put it.
Maybe.
No.
But it's Chameleon Studios. Maybe we can find it searching for it.
And of course, it's a Star Wars story, so C has it.
Well, of course. So Star Wars Bounty Hunters number. Wait, there's a Bounty Hunters comic? Doggone it.
And they're up to number 9, so.
They're up to number 9. Why haven't I heard about this? Oh, come on. I'm dropping the ball. Man, Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 9, the best fiends of the galaxy. You can check out what that's about on flickeringmyth.com. Come on.
Come on, man.
There goes at least $40 from stealing.
You got to get caught up. Got to catch them all. Right?
Obviously. Yeah, catch all the bounty hunters. I can just imagine.
And we did learn today, and I'll make the announcement now. Now that we know the new previews is officially out, if you're in previews this month, please send us your code, your information. We will cover it. It'll be part of Backer Pause going forward. We have been awaiting the actual new thing. So today you might even see me updating at some point all the stuff that came out today. But for now, Wild Bull and Chipper can still be ordered via the January code. It just might not come out exactly when you want it to, but a lot of times previews will still let you back order these issues. So, oh boy, here we go. Here it comes.
Oh, we knew this was coming.
Who wants this one?
This is you. This is so you.
Here we clone again. Marvel reveals new details on Miles Morales' Clone Saga on comicbook.com.
You like the pun. You like the pun. Don't act like the pun wasn't your friend. Best stretch goals in our awards right now. What was the thing that you did to motivate people to continue backing your project? What awesome thing did you come up with? Well, it's your time to celebrate that with the Independent Creator Awards category. Best crowdfunding stretch goals found on our Facebook group. Just type in the Independent Creator Awards and the search will take you there. And we saw this again, by the way. We did this one a little earlier. A couple of the Friday stories had wound up earlier in the week. You get to later in the week, they've put it in a different group. But check this out.
Luke Stone cover, Hybrids, the Sons of Gods. Amazing. I love what he did here. So one of the new covers for the upcoming release is a special black gloss on black matte cover. Be sure to sign up for the mailing list. A special perk will be available. We know what that is. We already covered it in the news. Head over to Indiegogo and do a search for The Killing Field.
Nice.
That looks so good, though, doesn't it?
It does.
Like, I want like 10 of those for no reason other than I'm going to put them up on the wall and look at them shiny and flash a flashlight across them.
I just felt like I was back in the 90s. What?
Well, you know what?
Oh my gosh.
It just feels, I mean, you see the progression of his art and stuff like that. I mean, this is stepping up. It really is. I'm so excited for it.
Okay, so here's a big announcement for you guys. A lot of people have tuned in today just to hear this. We're in the last 10 minutes. Look at how I got that. Nailed it to the last 10 just like I wanted. On Valentine's Day, with love, we launch
Dun, dun,
the
dun.
Continuum, brought to you by Terraform Comics. Enter the Continuum will be the official designate of that book. Each Continuum will have different title names. So instead of, they will have like a number for our purposes in Terraform, we will number them. But instead, the Kickstarters, you'll see chapter numbers, because it's not going to be an ongoing series where you would think where you have to buy issue 1 to understand issue number 2. Oh, no. That's not how this is going to work. You will be able to buy the books that you want based on who's in those books. And you should get the whole series, but hey, that's just me being the person I am, because I know who some of the amazing people that are going to be in this, including our first announced story. That's right, live today, we're announcing for the first time ever is...
Look at you with this presentation, Rob.
I know, and I did this all while we were live. No one will ever know what I can do. Reapers. And go ahead, Michael, you're up.
When spirits can be harvested and sold for energy, the Ragtops must navigate psychic vampires, alien reverends, and other money-hungry groups to reap that sweet, sweet spiritual gold.
Oh, man, we got a little teaser art here for you, and I know Meredith wanted to just give you a little more information while we're looking at this art. So go ahead, Meredith.
Well, we've got the story of Billy and Darlin here, and if you were talking about the thing that I wrote earlier, Rob, is that what you were referring to?
Yeah, your synopsis.
Oh, my synopsis. Okay. The thing that was like, that's not a pitch.
But we need to hear it.
Here we go. Reapers is a cyberpunk story that follows Billy and Darlin in a dystopian future. This world harvests a rare and powerful form of energy that's used for fuel. Some factions believe the Gerasol Lights is a money-making opportunity, while others believe they are the residual energy of the dearly departed.
And who is this by? Like, do you notice that that hasn't been announced yet?
Well, C and I have collaborated on this. I am the writer, but I used the clay from Mr. C here, who is the artist, and he will be coloring these pages as well.
Right.
So this is a very exciting collaboration. We're doing things, I can't even say it's the Marvel way. We're kind of doing it the C and Meredith way.
That's right. We're look, it's a whole new thing. Terraform's a whole new thing for comics. So are we. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to be a whole new thing for comics, we got to do things a whole new way. And that's, we're doing the Lochran Landing method. So
there you go. That'll be a thing. I like the ring of that. That's nice.
That's it. Hope this will be our last rodeo, like they say.
Oh yeah. No, I mean this story is I really foresee it as being quite epic. This is just a teaser, a bite size into this world, into these characters, what it is that they're doing. The story that we're working on is just so in depth and in my mind quite epic. And I'm so excited about the art. And it's kind of funny because when C set back the art and I was so excited about it, we forwarded it to Rob, and Rob was just like, hey, Meredith, because he pulled me aside first and he goes, what do you think of the art? I was like, I think the art's fantastic. He's like, yeah, I know you did. He's like, did you read the script with it? And it was like, and then we were able to sit down and collaborate with each other and figure out, you know what, there are some pieces, and Rob speaks of this, the in-between. And he's like, there are some moments here that you can really capture by adding another page, so you're going to be looking at 6 pages of story and art and just the very beginning of this arc that's so interesting in my mind. I'm saying that maybe because I'm biased, but I think it's an amazing story with a lot of potential. You're going to see a lot more of this coming in the future.
That's right. We wanted to give you the feel of the world that we're going into, because it's cyberpunk, but it's cyberpunk paranormal with that dash of rockabilly for spice. So we have some weird characters coming up, as you see, the alien reverends, that the Ring City reverends, they're called.
Yes. Yep.
So
Ring City reverends.
That's going to be fun to design.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're seeing, like the greasers. You're going to see the bikers and stuff like that, and the just that cyberpunk element, dystopian future, and things like that. But there's a lot of familiarity in here, So I'm just really excited about this. Rob, I think there were a couple more panels if you wanted to.
Oh, I just gave that. I'm that's all they get.
That's all they get. Oh, you're gonna have to wait. You
don't get the whole book for free. This is a 6-page story. That's it. That's your preview. Enjoy it, drink it in. That's what you get because it's amazing art. That's all I needed. As someone who's going to be advocating and promoting this, that's all I needed right there was that art. It's brought to you by Terraform. Remember, this all starts in our Terraformed Continuum group. The reason it's called Terraformed Continuum is that's the Facebook group where we're actually making the stories. So we're terraforming stuff. When it leaves that group, it's terraformed. So join that on Facebook today, Terraformed.
Well, that's how C and I, we were just, it was in a conversation thread and he was like, I've got an idea. And I was like, well, I would love to see it. Let's hear some of your ideas and stuff. And then being able to expand on those. And then we were able to go back and forth and stuff like that. I mean, so quite honestly, when it comes to writing credit, I would probably put both of us down.
I only gave you the ingredients. You're the one that made the story, so I would say writing credit. We're co-creators.
See, now this is the case where it's like, no, you did it. No, you did it. No, you did it.
But that's good. It's better than having no, I did it. So,
right. Like I did it. Get out of here, kid.
Yeah. So this is definitely a mix.
And we're working on more. We're working on more stories so that the story continues beyond the 6 pages. It's really going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to reach quite a broad audience. I don't want to say all ages because it's not hitting the little ones, but I would say definitely a 13 plus.
Let's say, yeah.
PG.
We get them like
PG.
We want to get them while they're young. And that's where you hit it. I mean, look at Star Wars, Transformers, Ninja Turtles. You get them when they're young. You hook them when they're young.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have that taste. You get that first taste. The first one's free. So.
There you go. Terraform Continuum.
We're peddling stuff on the show now, aren't we?
Hey, look, it has been a formula that has worked for years and years and years.
Hey, works for Disney. If the mouse can do it, why can't I, right?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, guys. That's it. We brought you the whole week in news with the headlines. We're down to the last 3 minutes. Let's just have a moment of silence for Geek Insider YouTube.
Oh, I'm not crying. I'm not crying.
The good news is you can, for the first time ever, be the 10th subscriber to Geek.
Oh, you know what, guys? It was so hard. We were up to like 613. I was in there. I saw it in the afternoon and I was getting ready to update and add a few things. And then I went in there in the evening and it was gone. I mean, like wiped from everything. So I had backlinks from other channels that were going to it and stuff. And I looked and it was just gone. So if you're going into the YouTube channel and you see Geek Insiders and you see those things, you're only seeing shadows. It's like those shadows. It's like the ghosts. It's like the Girasol lights. I'm like, there it is. I want to grab it. But so we're rebuilding. Head over to youtube.com /C/Geek Insider. No S at the end. And we are rebuilding. I will be uploading more content today. Thankfully, I saved it. So we'll have most of it back.
And that's it, guys. We're out of here.
All right.
Thanks for the downer, Rob.
Hey, we just wanted to acknowledge the passing. It might even make the in memoriam for 20. It might even make that. That's because I mean, when you lose that kind of content, and I told Meredith this, I lost content with that as well. Because for a while, I was only doing my shows on Geek Insider. Comic Book Advocates is the comic book wing to Geek Insider. So there was a time, and I'm glad Meredith said, no, put it on yours too. That way there's, it's on your...
you're building your channel as well.
So I was like, okay. I lost, and I told Meredith this, close to probably 50 hours of content. Maybe 100.
Yeah.
So yeah, we lost entire. You have to understand, we lost events, 3-day events that I was part of. So luckily, some of those work simulcast, but we're out of here. See you next
All
week
right.
with brighter ambitions and more.
Sunday COMiX brunch.
Yeah, 11 a.m. We'll see you then. Great show lined up. All right, out of time, so we got to go. Here's your outro.